Hey everyone. So to start this video off, I'm gonna have to refer to the perfect movie quote for this past week.
We've had a doozy of a day.
A real doozy.
There we were.
Yep.
Minding our own business.
Yeah, that's pretty much how everything went. So Monday and Tuesday, great training sessions, hit everything well. I was feeling a little bit tired on Tuesday, but still got the deadlifts in. And Thursday, went to do some axle clean and press. The right arm, the brachialis, I'm pretty sure is what it is, just wasn't having it. So I decided not to do it. And I started feeling a little bit of nerve pain in the sciatic area on my left hip. So I was like, you know what? I'm just going to kind of take it easy today. I'm going to schedule a chiropractor appointment for Friday. And then Saturday, do the last event day, because that was kind of like the plan. Well, Friday morning, I woke up, and apparently I was trying to kick people in my sleep.
Everybody was kung fu fighting.
And somehow I took my hip flexor on the right side, and it popped over the hip and went to the outside of my leg. So I could barely walk, had to hobble upstairs to work. Got through work, went to the chiropractor, had to have my daughter drive me, and he spent about an hour trying to get the tendon back in place. But the last thing he did was kind of like pull on the leg a little bit, and I felt a new sensation kind of on the inside. But the outside and the back of my hip were feeling pretty good. I could move my leg again, so went home. Then that night, the sciatic pain started to come back on the opposite side. And when I went to stand up, just sharp stabbing pain. And the best way to describe it is it felt like my femur was pinching one of the groin muscles between the bone, the hip bone and the femur. And so I just slept. First thing Saturday morning, I told Glenn, hey, there's no way I'm lifting tomorrow. I can't walk. Something's going on. Tried to get back into the chiropractor. They didn't respond. And just sat down all day in pain, could barely go to the bathroom, and my wife had to help me. And it was funny because I couldn't move my leg, but I could bear weight on it. So I would have to take a step with my left leg, and then Brooke would have to come behind me and push my right leg forward for me to stand on it. And I'd step with my left, she'd push the right leg. So that was pretty worrisome, going into a contest. And so did some research, and I do have the inversion table. You can kind of see in the background here. And so had to have Brooke and Ethan help me up the stairs, got on the inversion table, and that gave me some relief. And in my head, I was thinking, it feels like the bone is not sitting correctly in the socket. It feels like it's partially dislocated and it's pinching something. Got a message back from the chiropractor that, you might have torn your labrum. Well, I've already had a torn labrum, and although the surgeon did give me a 50-50 chance of having to have labrum surgery on the right hip, which is what was being affected, it didn't feel anything like that. It was a very different feeling. So with the inversion table giving some relief, I talked to my son, and I laid down, and I said, all right, what I'm going to have you do is grab my foot really good, and then I'm gonna breathe in, breathe out. As soon as I finish breathing out, you just jerk it. And first two, I could feel it pulling, but it wasn't quite the right angle. So I kind of moved my leg out a little bit, and I said, all right, pull it here. First one, I was like, okay, that's good. A little bit harder. So the fourth pull, he pulled it, and I felt everything go back in place. I was like, immediate relief. I'm like, oh, okay, I can walk again. So Sunday, I still kind of took it easy. Monday, I did have to go out to work. I was off-site, so wasn't able to lift. Check out this gym. It's just wonderful. They don't even have dumbbells. These are like the cheapest things I've ever seen. That's it. That's the whole room. And so I got my steps in Monday. Everything felt okay. Tuesday, everything felt okay. I was supposed to be on site for 4 days. They ended up sending me home Tuesday evening. So Wednesday, we went and did a pressing and deadlift session. This went pretty well. Then disaster struck on Friday. So we were going to have a nice day, decided to do the last event training day, and I don't know what happened. I don't know if it was the heat or the new Cerberus shirt or finally finding my compression shorts and trying those, but I felt like I couldn't breathe. I was getting way too hot, so I had to, take off one of the shirts. I had an undershirt on underneath the grip shirt, which is what I've been doing. And I don't know if because the Cerberus shirt is gripping differently, maybe the sandbag was setting on me different. But yeah, I did the 2 bags and I went to pull and I just could not breathe. So then I tried it again, took off the one shirt and did the first bag, went to go to the second bag, and I felt like I was gonna pass out. Everything was closing in around me, just could not catch my breath. Then did the frame, and it felt like my hips and my hamstrings were just fatigued. And for anybody who's ever tried keto, around like the end of the first week into the second week, you go through this period where like you just feel you don't have that next gear when you're trying to work out, and you're out of energy and you're fatigued, and no matter how hard you want to, you just can't go faster. That's what I felt like, which was weird because I had nothing going on with food or anything else. And so then did one set of pushing the UTV around and called it. So everything was going great for this competition. Tweaked the arm a little bit, trying to do some different stuff on the axle clean and press. So that's probably not going to go as well as I wanted for the contest. And then this happened. So obviously with the contest being this Saturday, there's not really a whole lot I can do about it. And I just made the decision, all right, I'm going to use the old grip shirt because I can't rule out that was the problem. I'm not going to wear the compression shorts. Can't rule out if that was the problem. And I'm just going to try really hard this week to recover as best as I can. Yeah, so I went from being really excited and confident about this contest to thinking, all right, I just want to get through it without my elbow getting hurt worse. And I want to be able to at least finish everything and not have any issues with cardio. Because this whole prep, I haven't once gassed out and then I couldn't breathe. And if it's the heat, that's the problem. Because I think we were at like 68 degrees Fahrenheit on Friday, which lately, we've been training in the 20s to 40s pretty much all year so far. If it's the heat that's the problem, then that's just tough because there's nothing I can do about that. I don't even know. I don't think this contest is indoors. If it is, cool. If not, it's going to be a problem. But my goals have kind of shifted. When I went into this contest, I was kind of using it as just a fun contest, and I was going to push myself and try and set some PRs on some things. With the elbow and kind of how I've been feeling, I'm going to play it smart. And what I mean by that is for the deadlifts, I wanted to get somewhere between 8 to 10 reps. If the highest score in the group is 4 and I go last, I'm going to do 5. That's kind of where we're at. It's not great, but I need to be able to put myself together because I've decided I'm not going to do the contest in June or July. There's one other one that might be posted. Maybe I'll do that one if it doesn't have an axle. But the one in July that I was looking at, the one that I won last year on the beach, it does have an axle press. And then it has a circus dumbbell. And with my arm being like this, there's no way I'm going to risk it. And then in September is the real contest. It's the big contest, and I want to do well on that. So depending on what gets posted for this other contest in June, I may or may not do a third contest because, again, the emphasis is a September contest. But yeah, that's it for this update. Not a lot of great news, but I wanted to kind of touch base and let everybody know what's going on. So, hope that you guys are all doing well in your training. And hopefully I will have some good contest footage for me and Glenn come Saturday. Go with something heavy.